Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Told him fuck 12, fuck SWAT. Busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put.
Yo! What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy B-Mac, and I'm back with another video today. I'm going to continue with this little series I'm doing, breaking down each SEC schedule. Today we're going to move right along in the east to Georgia. Just going to go through and look at their schedule and tell you what I think they're going to finish, which games I think could give them trouble, and what I predict their overall regular season record to be. The key to Georgia's year this year is how they use Jamie Newman. I think if they can build the offense around him, they can have some success. I think their offensive line needs to get a couple games under their belt, get the gelling, and Georgia's defense is going to be good. Maybe better than last year. We'll see. They just took over the #1 recruiting class 2020 today. So Kirby's still building a monster. I say it all the time, but Florida needs to start recruiting better if we're going to compete yearly for the SEC East in Jacksonville. So, with that being said, let's jump right into their schedule. They start off with a home game against East Tennessee State. Don't need to say much here. They're going to win this game. Easily, going away, no big deal. Here's where things get fishy. Second game of the year, Alabama at Bama. Now, like I said, Georgia's offense is going to be having some major changes. Alabama's defense wasn't that good last year. I'm literally looking at their schedule for the first time right here, so you're getting my live. This is my first time looking at it, so I knew they played Bama. I didn't know they played them this early. I'm going to have to go with Alabama, and I'm going to tell you why. If they played later on in the year, I'd probably pick Georgia. Once Georgia gets some games under their belt on offense, they're filling out a new offense coordinator, et cetera, et cetera. East Tennessee State will be a good tune-up game for them, but not the caliber of Alabama. I got Alabama winning this game. I think they're returning more offensive players. They lost Tua. Tua's, he was a good quarterback, but I got to go Bama on that one. So, they start off 1-1. UL Monroe, win, no question. Vanderbilt, at home, win. Auburn, okay, so Auburn's my sleeper team out the West next year. I don't know if you'd call it a sleeper team, per se, because they're going to be good. They're playing in Athens. Georgia will have a couple games under the belt. Give me Georgia. Give me Georgia in that game as well, but that'll be a good one. Without seeing the teams play and, the week leading up to, I'm going to pick all these games the week before as well. I'm going to go through the SEC every week and give you my predictions. But right now, if both teams are healthy, I got to go Georgia at home. Missouri at Missouri. Georgia. Breaking in a new coach. I think Georgia wins that one handily. Fairly easily. Florida and Jacksonville. As I said in the previous video, I've got to pick Georgia until Dan Mullen gives me a reason to pick Florida. I want to pick Florida so bad, guys. That's a game we can win. But right now I'm going Georgia. South Carolina, I don't think they slip up 2 years in a row to South Carolina. Kirby Smart gets it fixed. They're going to win that game. Tennessee. Okay, so they play Tennessee later on in the year. So this could be a game you have to watch right here. It's at Georgia, so I'm going to pick Georgia in this game. But Tennessee very well could give Georgia a run for their money. If it was early on in the season, I might pick an upset here. But with it being later on in the season, I'm going to go Georgia. I think they've got things on offense figured out by now, and the defense is going to be playing well regardless. Kentucky's going to be another one of those teams that are decent, and they're playing in Lexington. Give me Georgia. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm going to pick Kentucky. Versus Georgia Tech. They're still rebuilding. Maybe in a couple years, Georgia Tech will be able to push them. I got to go Georgia on that one. So I got Georgia at 11-1, which means Florida and Georgia are going to be 11-1. I've got Georgia with the head-to-head tiebreaker. So Georgia will be playing in the SEC championship game again this year. Who will they be playing? Right now, I'd have to pick Alabama. They're pretty constant at being up there in the West. I think LSU's losing a lot. LSU can still be good. Auburn can still be good. Texas A&M might sneak up there. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I'd have to say Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship game. But that leaves Florida in an interesting position. If Georgia goes 11-1, losing the second game of the year to probably a top 3 Alabama team at that point, and then run the table, Florida could be sitting right on that cusp of that playoff. let's say Georgia gets their second loss in the SEC championship game. Florida can sneak into that playoff at number 4. It's too early to be getting on that. I'm just saying. Like I said in my previous video, Florida's schedule was easy this year compared to, years past. Last year we played Auburn and LSU. I mean, 2 of the top teams in the West. We've got to make this year count. Georgia 11-1 regular season, probably 11-2. I'd probably pick them to lose to Alabama again. Well, I said earlier it'll be later on in the season. I think the SEC is wide open next year. I don't know who should be the favorite. LSU's coming off maybe the best year in college football ever, and Alabama pushed them to the edge last year. Man, this is going to be a crazy year. Florida's got to take advantage of this in recruiting and on the field. We've got to take advantage while the SEC's wide open. We've got to sneak up there and get to Atlanta. At least get there. So with that being said, Georgia 11-1. That Alabama game that could go either way. Georgia can win that game. Georgia can win every game on their schedule, just like Florida can win every game on their schedule. Georgia's schedule is definitely harder. Auburn and Alabama out the West versus LSU and Ole Miss out the West. I think Georgia's got 2 tougher opponents there. In their non-conference, they got UL Monroe and Georgia Tech. And who else? And East Tennessee State. They'll win all those games. So really, I think they'll probably win all the East games. Probably win the East for, the 4th year in a row. It's getting old. But Florida has a chance this year. We've got to take advantage. I'm excited to see what Jamie Newman does, how he does in the SEC. A lot of people are skeptical. He played in the ACC. The dude can play, regardless. He can play. We're going to see what he's got. We're going to see it early. Second game of the year, we're going to find out what he's made of. If he's even a starter, I'm not going to go ahead and name him the starter. I think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. Georgia with another good year this year, no doubt about it. And then in the years upcoming, they're going to be so hard to beat, man. They've got so much depth and star power on that team. If they can keep them in Athens, they're going to win a national championship in the next 4 years. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I know Georgia might be one of those teams that are, plagued with bad luck. They're going to win a national championship in the next 4 years, barring some unforeseen recruit violation or big injury bug or something of that nature. I mean, they're going to win a national championship. I'm going to go ahead and stop hoping for it. Or stop hoping for them not to. I mean, it's their time. Like I said in the last video, all this is cyclical. It comes back. Georgia's on top right now. Florida's trying to get there. Can Demel get us over the hump? We're going to find out. But anyway, thank you guys for watching another video. It's been your boy B-Mac. Like, subscribe, share. Go watch the Mailbox Smashers podcast. All that good stuff. Link in the description. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.